Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 200 in the book of Genesis. It's titled, My Last Podcast, Again. So this is the last podcast of the book of Genesis. So tell me how it's been for you. Tell me how you've seen or experienced God in this book, this revelation. Send me a note. Make no mistake about it. The last book we walked through, the book of Revelation, tells you right in its title that it is a revelation. And here, Genesis is a revelation too. Kind of we're starting from scratch, a beginning. So next, we are going to head to the Gospel of John tomorrow. So please join me in that podcast. I promise it'll be fantastic. By that, I mean the book of John will be fantastic. The material will be fantastic. We'll see how the podcast turns out. All right. So Genesis has been a challenge. As you know, we see ourselves there, page after page, perhaps one day in a good response to the invitation of God, perhaps with faith, what he says about who he is and what he has made and what he has done, or perhaps like in the life of Cain, or evil actions, or in our desperate need for a savior. We see that not everyone in the book of Genesis who has a come to Jesus moment actually comes to Jesus, but many do. Being a human being means being in a pickle. All of us have sinned. All have broken fellowship. But as we see in Genesis, he makes a way, or more specifically, he is making a way. Genesis is the beginning of making a way. So in Genesis, we see that his vision is complete. His judgment is accurate. God is just, but he's also very gracious. He gives mercy. We have nothing to complain about, even though we probably will a bit. So I was thinking about what I might miss about Genesis. First, I will miss the people of Genesis. I mean, who can be a little sad of turning the page from Joseph or Jacob or Isaac or Sarah or Lot or Abraham or Eve or Hagar or Adam or Judah? I'll even miss the bad examples. I'll miss Cain and Laban and Mrs. Lot, the people of Sodom. I'll miss every one of them in their own way. But I'll also miss the way that the Old Testament teaches. It's a little slower, it's more narrative, it's more event-driven, just like I experience life. Remember, if you love the Old Testament, you're a friend of mine. My other thought is I'm going to miss the God of Genesis. I will miss how he pre-exists and sees all and is sovereign amidst evil. We've seen who God is and what he's like. We've seen him turn toward Adam and Eve in the most important spiritual moment in history. God could have kept walking in the cool of the day. He could have left Adam and Eve to hide and be unfound. He didn't have to lean in, but no, God leans in, he speaks, he corrects, he guides, and then launches a rescue plan that takes thousands of years to become operational. So in Jesus, we see that the penalty payer for all who then turn to him. So I'm going to miss this God and the faithful way that he interacts with his people. Now, I know this is a silly thought, right? Because tomorrow morning, with the Lord's will, you and I will crack open the next book that begins with in the beginning, which happens to be John. There we'll unpack the same God, the same character, the same attributes, but featured in perhaps a New Testament way. Maybe it is my last podcast, but I hope not. So we're leaving God behind. So we're not leaving God behind in Genesis. We're seeking him in a new way, a fresh way. We're still placing ourselves before his word to expose ourselves to his ongoing biblical revelation. Ironically, as we do that, we also expose ourselves before him. And sometimes we don't compare well. But never fear, that's why we have a Savior that comes to help us to do what we cannot do for ourselves. So I want to express my gratitude for those who have walked all these sweet mornings, 200 mornings with me in this great book. And I pray that you too have seen God, seen his ways, and wondered with me about his people. Perhaps you have just met God for the first time in this book. Well, I hope you've seen him more clearly, more accurately than before. I used to do my Bible study and my Bible encounters, my God encounters alone, and there's great value to that, but it's been a special honor to meet you in the mornings as we meet him together, to so incline our hearts together that even though we're geographically separated, has been a great joy to me. I thank you that you have endeavored to be with me as I have sought and we have sought together to be with him. So this might be my last podcast. It certainly is my last podcast featuring the book of Genesis. I hope not, that it's not my real last one. My prayer is that I will awaken tomorrow and that I will crack open the Gospel of John with you. And then there we will find that his mercies are new every morning, like it says in Lamentations 3. So perhaps we will keep doing it so until it really is my last podcast. Thanks for listening.